have always been here. Before the colony, we were eagle. Ate snake, didn't need no 13 stars and bars. Mi gente, we spit truth, talents, and beauty. Still, somos la celebración. Sun rising, the downpour. Una sonrisa de papel picado. Our story, sung in the rooted dirt. Una tierra mojada, the people can clay together. Racing, the sugar-driven hummingbird over hollowed horizons. I am ancestor-rooted. Rooster in el pasado with sharp-skinned hawk hope in the wisp of prayer. Sister saplings link, grow a field reaching la gente. El ritmo, tumbando las garras de guerra. This city heartbeats, heel clicks, mira mi mariachi, a clave beat to a future without fences grading families. Watch me, firebrush, see us, rock rose, we be sage, cedar, live oak fields, we poof, pollen, yes, you sneeze, we embrace the budding you paved over with self-interest. We steep in history, infinitely fighting the urge to horse blind a bullet. We monarch, butterfly, every angle, the ancestral journey. Somos gloria eterna, el sueño sin fin, la manifestación milagrosa, the moon's desire that moves the ocean's swell, and yet it hasn't always felt this way. See, when I was 8, I visited the temples of Tenochtitlan, and all I got was this lousy imposter syndrome. And I have never felt more like a tourist as when taxied in the streets of my birthplace, unable to have a conversation without tripping into the borrowed currency of a colonizer's language, harboring a bloated throat behind this port of entry, 100 skies away from mis abuelos. I am suffocated by the realization that there is so much of me foreign and undiscovered. How Cortez of me to glean the riches of a culture and call them mine without a single callous. And I am little brown boy wishing he were browner, little brown boy whittled despite the black curly hair. And am I loved in a country that hates where I'm from? And am I hated in a country my parents abandoned? Am I the X in Latinx? And am I hated in a country my parents abandoned? Am I the X in Latinx, the variable always trying to be solved? I want nothing more than to be a carretero in Oaxaca instead of in Orduña in Texas, rejecting the American manipulation of my Mexican two first names, too cumbersome for people to hold them holy. I am becoming what is most convenient for the people and leaving behind la gente. And when we meet again, how will I look my ancestors in el alma and not feel like I'm breaking into their afterlife? And in their afterlife, I feel like I'm breaking el alma de mis ancestros. And how will I look when I meet la gente and leave behind the people that were most convenient, becoming who I am, too holy to hold for people, too cumbersome to be named, my Mexican manipulated by American rejection of Orduña, Spain conquering Texas, of a carretero's labor in Oaxaca, and I want nothing more than to be solved instead of a variable, the X in Latinx, abandoned by a country my parents loved, hated in a country that loves where I'm from but not me. Little brown boy curled in the privilege of being güero, and I am little brown boy wishing brown didn't feel broken and calloused from every single call to make mine a culture and all the riches and gleams. And can I Cortez what I've learned and become less foreign and discover there is so much of me realized and suffocated? And mis abuelos, 100 skies away, were the port of entry this bloated throat harbored, their language before the colonizers tripped into the borrowed currency of a conversation about birthplace, how we are taxied like tourists into places where we have never felt like anything less than a lousy imposter. When I was 8, I visited the temples of Tenochtitlan, and in the temples of Tenochtitlan, I am a tourist in the afterlife, breaking any lousy imposter I was. El alma de mis ancestros, in the streets of my birthplace, taxied into a conversation with la gente, leaving behind the people that were tripping into the borrowed currency of what is most convenient. I am wholly on hold, harboring a colonizer's language too cumbersome for people with two first names, and a bloated throat manipulating a port of entry across 100 skies into my Mexican American, learning of mis abuelos, Texas, Orduña, Oaxaca, Carretero, all suffocated by the realization that there's so much of me I want to try to solve, the foreign and undiscovered. undiscovered. How variable of me to Cortez the riches of a culture, call them calluses mine. And I am little brown boy and güero, the ex and ex-Latine, abandoning his parent country, hating his black curly hair. And where I am from am I loved? And where am I from? In a country where I am from, a country in love. Am I loved where I am? Can I love a country I hate? Am I loved where I am from? Can I hate where I am and love a country that hates? I am loved where I am, loved where I am, a country in love. I love where I am from. And am I loved where I am from? Where I am loved in a hated country. I love where I am loved. Can I love? Am I loved? I am love.